What's going on, everyone? So, Scream 7 is introducing Mark Evans, who is going to be played by Joel McHale as Sidney's husband, right? And, it's unfortunate it's not Mark Kincaid. I mean, look, it was confirmed by Nev herself. It was confirmed by Patrick Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey even talked about it like 2 days before they announced Joel McHale coming in as, Mark Evans. But nonetheless, right? What's done is done. Can't go back. Mark Evans, it is. Mark Evans is Sidney's husband. Now, a couple things about this, right? One, we don't have a history. We don't have a backstory. We don't have any familiarity with him, right? You look at Mark Kincaid, and yes, there isn't this like extensive history, this extensive backstory, but we at least are familiar with him, right? We know when they met. We know when they probably got in a relationship. Like, we have ideas of him as a character, as a husband, right? His love for Sidney, right? Like, I mean, even his partner even joked about it. Like, I know where you're going. You're going to get flowers and candy and all that stuff, right? Like, you at least have some, pre-established setup for Sidney Prescott and Mark Kincaid that you don't have and no longer have with Mark Evans that you need to establish and set up, right? Like, when did they get involved? When did they meet? When did they have children, right? So Sidney must have had, must have been married with kids back in Scream 4. Okay, well, when was it, because last we saw her in Scream 3, she was a recluse in the middle of nowhere, right? How long from that to her going out and venturing the world and the trust? Like, did she just immediately meet this guy and love this guy and trust this guy and was like, oh yeah, okay, this is great. Yeah, this is the man I'm going to have kids with? Or was there reservations? How did they meet? Did they pursue? Like, there's just so much backstory now that has to be relayed and explained, or you just don't do that. And then that's just kind of left to the imagination, I guess. But even then, whether they explain it or don't explain it, right? Like, there's still things that we need to know. How is Mark as a husband, right? Is he kind? Is he loving? Is he a little bit of a a-hole, right? Is he, is he the cool husband, right? Like, does he do everything, bend over backwards for her, right? How is Sidney towards him? Is she a little guarded? Is she kind of a little bit of a you-know-what because of her past and her history, and he just kind of is like, oh, okay, like, is he, a little aggressive? Like, how is their relationship? Is it toxic? Is it great? Is she a little guarded, so he's got to constantly fight through walls, right? Like, there's so many different kind of directions that they can go with Sidney and Mark's relationship, and that kind of, and how that's built up and, whatnot, right? Then you add in, okay, well, how is Mark as a father, right? Is he an a-hole? Is he overly, possessive? Is he, is he too much, or is he the cool dad? Is it like, hey, don't ask mom, ask dad. You want to go do something? You want to go out? You want to go whatever? If you ask mom, mom's going to say no because she's overprotective. She's, she's a little guarded. But dad, ask dad and you're good, right? Go ask dad and you're in the money, right? Like, all these things you need to explore, right? You have something in this Scream franchise or in this Scream film that you haven't had in the franchise. And that is the family element, the family dynamic. You've never had that. You've had family sprinkled in, right? Maureen Prescott and, even the killers with Mrs. Loomis and Richie's dad, right? Detective Bailey. And, there's always been family elements. Jill, right, is another. Roman, right, like from Ghostface to people that have died to this, that, and the other. The Meeks twins, right, list goes on and on. So there's always been family elements to it, but there's never been to this level family dynamic where it's like you have a family that's going to be targeted by Ghostface, and it's Sidney's family nonetheless that before Scream 5, we never even knew she had, right? Like, the idea that, like, this isn't like a little thing, right? For the Scream franchise. This isn't like, oh yeah, that's cool, she has a family. Like, no, it's like, dude, one, when did she get to the point where she started trusting people again? Two, when did she get to the point where she wanted to start having kids? Could she even have kids, right? Would she ever even fall in love with anybody, right? Like, there's just so many things that are just like crazy about this from multiple angles, right? And then you add in that she has multiple daughters, and it's like, how long ago was that? Was that, like, it had to have been before Scream 4, right? So, okay, that was 11 years in between, right? From 2000 to Scream 3 to 2011 for Scream 4. Okay, like, when did that happen? Was that like 5 years later, 7 years later, right? Obviously, Tatum, she's supposed to be around 17. So if this movie is like in 2026, then she was born in what, 2009, right? Like, so it's like, all right, well, so basically in a 9-year span, you had that. So she would have gotten pregnant in 2008, right? If my math is all right, tell me if it's wrong, but like, so she would have gotten pregnant around 2008. So you had an 8-year span. Okay, well, were they together for 5 years? Were they together a year? Were they together 6 months? Was it a month? Was it a week? Right? Like, there's just a lot that they need to explore and dive into. And I really want them to hit on that stuff. I don't want them to just ignore it and pretend like, this stuff didn't happen, right? I don't want them to ignore and pretend like, like, oh, like we're supposed to just pick up, right? You chose to establish and set up and build the Sidney Prescott family story, right? You decided to go and bring in Mark Evans to have him and let him kind of be the face alongside Sidney now. Okay, well, I want to see that be explored, whether you kill him or he survives or however you want to approach it, however you want to go about it. I don't want to see them kind of just, again, sweep it all under the rug. And it's like, oh, like, hey, here's Sidney with her family. And then that's it. My concern is that's probably what's going to happen. But, the stakes are higher than they've ever been. Sidney is more vulnerable than she's ever been, right? Like, because again, she's not just responsible for herself. She's responsible for her entire family now. Multiple children, her husband, right? Like, at least in the past, it's only been her. She's only had to keep herself alive, herself together, right? Well, now it's not just her. It's like, hey, we need to keep, this and that and the other alive, right? I need to keep all my kids alive and Tatum and Mark. And I don't want to see Mark die. I love Mark. He's my husband. He's been my husband at least 17 years. They've been together at least 17 years. So, I mean, it's not something that was just like random. Why didn't he go with her in Scream 5? Like, right? Like, he was just like, hey, baby, go take on Ghostface by yourself, right? Like, it's just like, there's so many things that I have the concern that they're going to brush under the rug. And I get it. It's, hey, Fate, you're overthinking it a little too much, right? It's not that serious. And it's not. I get that. But it's just like, this isn't just some little thing that you just like, sweep under. Like, this is huge for Sidney Prescott. Right? This is a huge, like, thing that you're adding to the story and the franchise. And I don't want to see them, I want to see them do right by it. I want to see them really kind of build that up and whatnot and kind of see how, Joel McHale plays the role of Mark Evans. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.